The Express.
Welcome back to the Express, everybody. So glad that y'all were able to join. Got the old crew back together. Just wanted to recap a little bit of the first half, go over the second half. I think we got about 70 games left. Got a really important schedule coming up here to start out the after the All-Star break, and then we'll touch on the Olympics a little bit, cheering on Mrs. Swanson as she embarks on her journey in France this summer. So I got a lot of cool things coming your way. But I guess just to recap a little bit of the first half, I think last time we talked a lot about April and how we'd had such a good April, and then things obviously kind of fell apart a little bit kind of in May and June. And then I feel like over the last couple of weeks we've been playing really good ball. I know we kind of got bit with the injury bug, whether that was myself or Belly or some of our arms and stuff, just shuffling a lot of guys in and out. But I think you're really starting to see this group gel. You're starting to see the younger guys take some strides forward. Shout out Michael Bush. He's been playing really, really well. He's always been able to hit, and I'm just glad that he's able to kind of run with this opportunity that he has. And I think he's helped stabilize our lineup a lot. Happer's been swinging a really, really good bat recently. It's been fun to watch. It's just been cool to see like kind of the lineup, come together. I feel like we put out a pretty consistent lineup over the last 3 weeks or so, which I think has been helpful for us. Just guys knowing they're going to be in there every day, knowing that they're going to have a chance to perform, and that does something for your mental, does something for your confidence. I feel like personally finished out the half on a strong note, kind of finally started feeling and getting the results that I'd been looking for all year. It's a really tough game, grinded through a lot mentally and physically so far this season, but to be able to end the first half on that kind of note was good for us, and I think that's only going to continue coming out of the break here.
Yeah, man.
Those July Cubs. I'm telling
July
you.
Cubs.
Yeah,
Happened last year. It's happening again.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. How about old Happer after Happer and our boy PCA, man, coming on? We warned him, said, hey, you come on the pod, good things happen. And
Good
look at
things
what's going
start to
on, man. After
click.
that Tampa series, they're starting to click, starting to move. It's fun to watch. Happer's swinging it well, dude.
Dude, he's like, I wish I could watch his work. Like, I know he was on the pod talking about just consistency and stuff, but he's got such a simple routine. And with him being a switch hitter, he's obviously got to hit a little bit more than the average person. But watching his like consistency of how he goes about his day in the cage, whether it's getting his body ready or just even in the cage or during BP, the stuff that he tries to do, I feel like he's just really, really consistent, especially like the mental component of it. I don't think we talk about enough in our game because we obviously play every day, and to be able to perform the way he's performing and stick to the same routine, stick to the same feels, kind of make adjustments on the fly. Just being able to watch him like taking at bat. Okay, he'll take an at bat. After it's over, he'll come back in the next half inning, chat about it with one of the hitting coaches, watch a little bit of the film on the iPad, and then be able to like go make like an adjustment in a snap is really, really impressive. And I feel like he's a guy that like has a plan each and every time he steps in the box. And obviously that's been proving very valuable for him over the last, I would say, month or so.
When the Cubs needed him the most, he was ready to rock and just kind of started turning it on. And then the pitching came along with that. And obviously, like we said, our boy Pete, he had 2 the other day. He gets me fired up. I don't know why. The little guy.
Do you see those balls he hit out, dude? Unbelievable. Dude, I don't know how he does
like
it.
A 9-iron, bro.
Dude, crazy. He's got pop, man. He's got so much like electricity. Sometimes it's like hard to like rein in, because he's got so much athletic and God-given ability. Like watching him patrol center field, dude. I wish I could see it from my vantage point, because there would be a ball hit, and I'm like so guilty of it now. When there's a ball hit in the air, like normally you kind of go out for like, oh, that's probably like a double cut, get in position, dude. I'm like, I just stand there. I'm like, all right, that's if that doesn't get caught, then it's probably a homer. Like that's where I've gotten to with Pete. It's so cool to see, dude. Like, and apparently he's always been like that, which is it's like
Dude,
special. It's special. Not many guys can do it the way he does it.
he's a little firecracker, man. Which I love Pete, but like the other night when I watched him hit, I think it was the second one, dude. He's like got that like Kirk Cousins, you like that energy. Like it's just like I don't know what he's saying, and it'd be so funny talking about it. But it's almost like he's just talking trash to like everybody in the stadium, like as he's like rounding the bases. But I think he's just talking to himself. Like honestly,
Dude,
it's so funny.
dude, there's always something roaming around up there, and he's just getting it out. But it's special, man. Like I said, he's so fast. He can steal bases. He's got like he's only, some guys that steal bases, they do it because they're smart and they get good jumps. They may not be the fastest. And then you got the guys that just outrun the ball,
Yeah.
He's kind of both. Like he studies it. He's really, really like in tune with his instincts on the bases. And it's fun to watch. Like I almost like have a heart attack sometimes watching him like, dude, like you don't need to get such a big lead. Don't do it. And then here he goes. And then phew, safe. You're like, oh my God.
But it's just like a single from him, you have a runner in scoring position.
Dude. It's crazy. And think about like y'all obviously watch the games and you're saying that. Can you imagine the opposing team? Like when he gets on first, they're like, well, it's got to be uncomfortable. It's got to be.
Yeah. Good. I was going to say they use up their 2 pickoffs.
Mm-hmm. Quick.
Well, and I was going to say, like, how many times?
And then it's like on go after that.
Yeah. Like, or how many times is it a routine like single and then like the first baseman barely bobbles it or the catcher barely bobbles it and he's on second? Like,
dude.
Just puts on the burner.
He plays
dude, the other
like
day when he bunted, when Sonny was on the mound, when Sonny was on the mound and he laid down that bunt, Sonny like did the PFP perfect. Like ran over to it quick, got it, and flipped it to first base, and he beat it out. We were like, oh my gosh. Like that's the fastest I've ever seen anyone run.
He's so quick, dude. He's so funny. It's fun to watch him play, man. Yeah, and Nico has been having some gems at second.
Dude.
I feel like.
He's so like intentional about his work too, especially really in everything he does. But he is dialed in every time he steps on a field. Every time he gets to the field, he's dialed in.
Yeah.
But it's in the clubhouse, like he's on go. I honestly don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it the way he does it. He's just like locked in, dialed in at every turn, and his intensity is really, really good for us because it's kind of like a stabilizer in many ways, right? Like everyone has that responsibility, and that's what creates a team. Is everyone has some bit of responsibility to like help stabilize the group, and his like competitive instinct is definitely something that I feel like stabilizes our group. Of just like every day he's going out there to compete. You're going to get his best effort, whether things go good or bad. You're getting his best effort. He's not going to give at bats away. He's going to play the heck out of second base. And when a big situation comes up, like he's going to get the runner in from third base, whether that's like hit a ground ball to get somebody in, hit a fly ball to get somebody in. He's a guy that you want up there when the situation's on the line. And he's kind of proven that time and time again.
Yeah, I'll say just being around you guys and, getting to the field early and all of that. Like, a lot of you guys, everyone has their own routine, but I swear, dude, like the term workhorse is him. Like he's taking ground balls, he's taking, he's taking hacks in the cage, he's taking on field. Like and when he's doing it, he's business. Like he's dialed. Like some of the mic'd up content with you and him is so funny because his responses are like so short because he's just locked in on everything that he's
Dancy
doing.
Just keeps talking, I'm sure.
Oh, it does. That's so funny. Like early on, I didn't know that. Like I didn't know that was kind of like his personality all the time. So at first I was always like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, is he just being short? It's like, no, that's just like how he is all the time. He's business. Like
Dancy was like,
he thinks about it. He thinks about it and processes things differently than I do, but he goes about his business like for a specific reason. Same way I do it. It's just we kind of do it in different ways. Like
Yeah.
I get my stuff in that I need to get in. I do my best to enjoy it, and then get ready to compete, because you got to compete 162 times, and it can run you crazy. But
Yeah.
dude, it's such a joy. Like I said, and that's the stabilizer part that I said. Like everyone stabilizes kind of in their own way, and that's like one of his gifts. It's just the competitive intensity, really in everything. Whether it's like you said, ground balls before the game, whether that's his cage routine or in the batter's box, like it's all the same.
Dude, he's so funny. And that's why I told you, I think it was I don't know if it was St. Louis or where it was, but I told you I finally got a smile out of him, because a lot of the guys, like they come up and joke with me or whatever, because now I know a couple of the guys, and him and I were sitting in the cage watching you, and I said something to him, and he kind of like cracked a smile and was like, said something back, and I was like, oh, he's kind of like your dad. Like your dad doesn't want to smile at certain jokes and stuff like that, but then like every once in a while you can get him, and I
Uh-huh.
got him, and I was like, all right, he's coming along. He's coming along.
Cooter
He's
just doesn't
funny,
want to
man.
give us the satisfaction of
Yeah,
us being
yeah.
funny.
Correct.
But Nico, dude,
Correct.
That's what
Nico
that
will
is.
be. He'll be locked in like when anybody's taking cage. Like it's not even him in the cage, and he's locked in on like he's analyzing like what are they doing. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
cool to watch. He's super cool to
Mm-hmm.
watch.
Yeah. No, he's special, man. Love him. I'll give one more shout out to Mr. Jameson Talion. He's been,
JMO.
yeah. I
Big
mean,
dog.
talk about like a workhorse. Like he's been so good. He's been so
Yeah.
good. It's really fun to play behind him, because he's going to execute. He does a lot of like, he always says like, I get 30 of these a year. Like I take him very seriously. And so he does his homework. He prepares. Like he puts in the time to know how he wants to pitch guys, how he wants to get guys out, and you see that. You know what I mean? And that's why, like I feel like in bigger situations or like pressure situations, he's so just like calm and steady, because he already knows what he wants to do. It's just a matter of him executing, and that's a sign of like a true pro, right? Like he's prepared. He knows what he's trying to do. And so far this year, like he's been executing it at a very high level. And it's just really cool to see too, because I think we all know last year was a grind for him, through the first half. He was really good in the second half for us. And for him to kind of like bounce back this year, make the adjustments he needed to make, and kind of evolve with the game, he's been able to do. And that just speaks volumes to his professional character and just like his work ethic to put us in a position to win.
Let's talk All-Star break. I guess kind of if you want to share some light, good, bad, ugly of All-Star break, and just the fact of, for example, you guys have been playing, really good baseball, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a couple of days off, and then so how do you guys deal with that coming back, and then also, with you having played in the All-Star game versus not having it? Not saying that obviously it's a huge honor and it would be cool to go, but how crucial is the break for you, your body, your mental state? I mean, you guys don't get days off like that, so if you want to speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. To your first point, a little bit about just like team momentum and everything, being able to go into the All-Star break with like a good momentum and like a good vibe, if you will, is everything, because it kind of allows everyone to enjoy their break and come back with that same kind of energy and thought process that has been working for us. So I think that it should just continue to roll, right? And so much of that has come from our pitching being so good. And I've said this time and time again, like pitching and defense is your tone setter always. It doesn't matter how good the offense is, like your pitching and defense is what will win you games. And for the last week and a half, they've been really freaking good. And so that takes a little bit of pressure off of us, obviously, as an offensive group, to not feel like we have to put up big numbers or anything. And in turn, you get bigger numbers because everyone's playing a little bit freer.
Loose.
Everyone's loose. Everyone's kind of just passing the baton to the next guy. And so that's been, I think, huge for us, is just the prevention of runs, whether that's on the mound or in the field. Keeps everyone engaged. And then I think the biggest thing when you talk about momentum is what we've done a really good job of the last couple weeks is when we score, we go out and get 3 outs quickly. Like that, like shutdown innings are huge because then you can get back in the dugout and hopefully build upon your lead. But if you're always kind of going like run for run, it can like take energy away at times. And I feel like we've done such a good job recently of like we score, like we go get 3 outs and we come right back in the dugout and then we look to do it again. And so that was big for us going into the break. As far as personally, I took a few days to go to DC. Mal was in DC. They were having their like Olympic send-off game. So I went there on Sunday after the game in St. Louis, spent a couple days there. And it was actually, dude, it was super nice and kind of cracks me up because this is just like not my personality, but it was really, really good for me. Was Monday morning and like lunchtime, we kicked it. They didn't have training until later that afternoon. And then when she left to go like do all her treatment and all that kind of stuff, I went to this place in Georgetown that is like a sauna. It's like a spa. It's a sauna float tank place. So got in the sauna for 45 minutes, got in the float tank, which people don't know who a float tank is. It's basically like a souped up Epsom salt bath. Like the salt content's so high that you lay in this enclosure and you just float, literally float. And your body soaks up a lot of magnesium, the salt, all the stuff that's good for your muscles, and just like really, really, really relaxes you because you're just literally floating in water. It's body temp. So you literally like, it's like sensory deprivation. Like you're just in there.
Was it pitch black?
But yeah, pitch black, just like fully
It's
decompressed.
supposed to like take all your senses away, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's literally like, it's like a full on decompression.
It's like a
So I
5
did
Gum
that.
commercial.
Dude,
Yeah, literally.
I felt so good coming out of there, like just so mentally and physically refreshed. And then I got back to the hotel. We were staying close to the monuments and stuff. And Mal and them they were at training. And I was like, you know what? Like, instead of going
you
and
go?
sitting in dude, I just started biking around. Honestly, I started biking around DC. I was biking around, biked by the monument, like the memorials and
so
stuff.
proud of you.
Dude, I know you are. And I even told Mal, I said, you know who would love this? Mason. Because he's a history nerd. He would love this.
We're in St. Louis, and I was like, do you ever like go to like, monuments or places of like important places? Like you literally are traveling around the most important place in the United States. He's like, yeah, nah. I'm like, well,
Not me.
You probably should.
Dude. So I'm like biking and I was like taking these like pictures and stuff and sending them to Mal, and she thought it was so funny. But I biked I biked like 3.5 miles, just like took circles around like just all the parks and monuments and stuff. And then the next day we kicked it the whole day before their game. And then it was funny. They left for the game. I took an Uber to a bar taco that was like a mile or so from the stadium. Biked again. I just get like the like the Uber Lime bike or whatever. Biked to the stadium, hopped off, went in, watched their game. Was on the field after for like their little send off thing, and dude, it was so freaking funny. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna like head back because they do all their treatments post game. Like they have a bunch of stuff to do, and I'm like, I literally type it in. I'm like, how far of a bike ride is this back to the hotel? It's like 10:30 at night, and obviously traffic's crazy because of the game, and it's like it's either like 30-minute Uber ride, which was going to take forever to even get an Uber, or like a 25-minute bike ride. And so I was like, dude, screw it. Like, I'm going. So I was biking by myself through DC late at night. It was beautiful. Like, I biked by the monuments and they're all lit up and stuff. It's, dark out, just cruising back. And dude, I told Mal, I was like, yeah, I biked back to the hotel. And she thought it was so freaking funny. She was like, I told all my teammates, and they were like, no way, he biked back then. She was like, yeah, he freaking biked back.
What a nerd.
Dude, it was.
Biked back.
But I'm saying all this because utilizing like 2 days of the break to just fully decompress from baseball, like not think about baseball, just do other things that you normally either wouldn't have the energy for or like would care to do. I did, and that was good for the soul. It was really good for the soul. So back in Chicago now because they're leaving for France, obviously. So back in Chicago and gonna took today and a little bit tomorrow just to kind of like zone back in and then be ready to go for the first series against Arizona.
Yeah, you guys are. What are you guys? I think 47-51. So you're close to
Yeah,
that 500. Last 10 have been good.
dude. I
Really,
think
your last 15 have been good.
yeah, I feel like we're in a really good spot. Obviously, been on a team before that didn't get above 500 till like mid August, and that worked out really well. So it's a matter of like playing well at the right time. It's about playing well at the right time, and I think we're starting to like kind of hit our stride a little bit. And obviously, have some big series coming up. We open up with Arizona at home, which will be a good series. They're a really good team. With we're all kind of sitting in that wild card range right now. So it'll be a good series against them, and then having Milwaukee right after that will be good for us as well. So a lot of big series coming up, but obviously a great time for us to be playing good ball and just kind of continue that in the second half. I feel like when I say our schedule's easier, I'm not saying in terms of who we play, but more in terms of like travel and everything. I felt like our first half was a little bit hectic at times, just whether it was like West Coast or like late nights to day games and just things like that. And I feel like our schedule is a little bit more steady Eddie. It's a lot more like we're at home and then we go to Kansas City and then Cincinnati. Those are both close. And then we're home for like a week and a half. And there's a lot of off, it's like an off day once a week for like the rest of the season, pretty much. So I feel like we're sitting in a really good spot and just kind of excited for what's ahead for us. And then getting
Now,
people back too, right? Like
Hmm.
I think,
mhm.
Talkman at some point, obviously whenever Belly's able to come back, and then some of the pitchers that had gotten hurt earlier in the year, getting some of them back at some point is all going to be, big boosts for us. Um, and at the same token, you never want anyone to get hurt, but it's kind of allowed guys to step into some roles and gain some confidence. Like Mastro's been playing well. We already mentioned Bushy. Um, things have been, kind of on the upswing. So all that to say, I think, the second half is looking good for us.
At what point? I mean, obviously you guys are monitoring the number of the wild card, all of that. But at what point do you really start feeling that squeeze of, hey, we got 30 games left, or hey, we got 40, or is there a number like that? Or obviously it's series to series, but you talk about in June, July, you're like, well, we got a whole lot of baseball left. Like, let's just focus on this. Well, now it's kind of
Hmm.
like you're getting into not crunch time, but we're starting to gear it up a little bit.
Yeah, the sense of urgency obviously picks up a little bit. Um, I think the correct way to answer it is basically saying like we just got to continue to do what we've been doing, and we'll be in a good spot, right? I think that's how you control the controllables the best, and just kind of setting mini goals of like, if we can just continue to win each series, we can win each series. Like that's going to stack up over the next 70 games. Because if you win each series, you're probably sitting in like the 45-25 range, and that's really freaking good. Um, and so I think that that's probably the best way to look at it is is looking to win each series. Um, and obviously we have the capabilities to do that. We got a good team, and then everyone wants to obviously talk about the trade deadline and this, that, and the other. But if we can obviously put forth a strong effort to start the second half, I think everyone would like to see us be buyers, right? Yeah, everyone will say, "Are you buyers or sellers?" Um, I definitely think that. Uh, let's put it this way: I think most teams around the league don't want us to get hot, which we've started to do. So it'll be interesting next 2 or 3 weeks to see what happens. And at the end of the day, just like I said, go out there, do what we do, and I think things will work out for us.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are when you guys start getting hot and you start looking at your lineup and the guys you've been having play, it's kind of like it's going to be a tough lineup to get through. You know what I mean? Especially when
Hmm.
everyone's kind of clicking and firing all cylinders, and then when you do get people on, they can move and they can score. It kind of
Yeah,
what's going to
I think
happen
there's
in
like a good
October
balance
with
of like,
Wrigley.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're going to be going crazy. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mitch, what were you about to say?
I was just gonna say throughout the lineup, it just feels like there's like that good balance of like base hit, and then whoever's up next has the potential to go yard, or like it's just always like a dangerous person, right? Like when the bats are going for real.
I, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say, was just like seeing how the lineup is shaped up and how guys have been swinging the bat. Having Nico be that tone setter for us, followed by a guy like Bushy who can take his walks, but also can, hit with some thump. And then obviously when Belly's in the lineup, have a guy that's kind of like elite bat to ball, but at any point can clip you as well. And then back that up with Seiya, who's a pro hitter that can also lead the yard. And then they said you combine that with Hap, who then all of a sudden it's like, okay, he's going to put together really good at bat, walk and slug. And then a guy like Morel, and a guy like Morel, who they said at any point could hit one harder
Out of the stadium.
than I've ever imagined. And then with the way I've been swinging it, right, like it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. And then even after that, like you got guys that are capable of so many different things, with Mastro being able to move the ball around and who can really run and like run the bases well. So if he gets on, he's a threat. Back that up with the catchers who have been having good at bats, whether that's Miggy or Tomas, being able to situationally hit with guys on or lay down a bunt if needed. And then obviously with Pete, hit those couple homers the other day, but can move the ball around, obviously can bunt and can run. And then you just circle that back up to the top. And it's like when things are clicking, things are going well. Like I said, when you add Talkman back, you got another pro hitter in the middle of that whole thing too. So it's a fun lineup. It's definitely like a versatile one. Can kind of play whatever game we need to play. And that's why I think why we've scored more runs recently is like, it's hard to score when you hit singles. It just is. And I feel like the guys that are hitting singles are either able to steal bases or go first to third on base hits. And then like that just adds pressure to the opposing team. And then that's when mistakes happen. That's when the homers happen. That's when the doubles happen.
I was going to say, a lot of these games, it's been like the pitchers are every inning, at least they're just have high pressure situations or like high pitch counts per inning or, whatever. It's just like stress it constantly throughout the game, it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you win series. Like if you can get to starters early, all of a sudden the bullpen gets backed up a little bit, right? And guys are having to throw a little bit more than they're used to. And those are just like little wins that go into being able to win a series. Getting into bullpens early, not having to face the best guys all the time, stuff like that is big. And that's, kind of been our recipe to success over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I mean, we got a lot of the good things going our way and just kind of excited to see it continue.
Yeah, having guys that can go first to third or second to home is a big advantage. Just being able to.
There was one the other day. It was Mastro had gotten a base hit, and I think there was one out. Mastro had gotten a base hit, and then Miggy hit a hard line drive right to the right fielder, but Mastro was able to like take that extra 90 feet and get to third base. So it was first and third, one out. Nico comes up, hits a fly ball, and it's like if you don't go first to third, that's just another out. But if you can get somebody on third base with less than two outs, there's so many different ways that you can score. And those stack up, dude. Like those stack up. And I feel like that's what it looks like when an offense is in sync. And we've been able to obviously like take advantage of those, which is big. Base running is such a huge part of baseball that no one talks about enough. But the importance of being able to take bases, dirt ball reads, stolen bases, first to thirds, bobbles, and you take an extra 90 feet. even running balls out that may, send a wide throw. Like all that stuff is key. The other thing, touch on, kind of hit on a little bit, is the Olympics. Young Mallory off to France. So
Yeah.
I'm excited
When
to
do they
see.
when do they start?
I think their
Not the
first
Olympics,
game is maybe next. I want to say it's next Thursday against Zambia.
Dude, I love the Olympics.
It's a great time.
I love it. I love it. There's
You know,
no other good.
I was gonna say, my parents are going. They're leaving
What?
on
I have a
Tuesday.
feeling.
Yeah,
That's so sick.
yeah, they're going Tuesday.
Hers?
Them and her parents. They're going together.
Yeah.
They're going over there together.
Squad.
So
Wow.
That's a good unit there.
yeah, so them
Coot.
four taking on France. Never thought I'd see Nancy and Cooter in France, but here we are.
Oh.
That's the content we need, dude.
Yep. So
Bonjour.
and I was like, my dad was like, yeah, I don't know how much we're gonna be able to see her, this, that, and the other. I was like, Dad, your daughter-in-law, you're gonna be able to watch your daughter-in-law play in the Olympics. Like that is so
That is
cool.
so cool.
That is literally so cool. And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, I'm not saying that. He's like, it's gonna be so much fun for them. Like just for them to be able to experience that, and like international soccer, dude, is like, it's a big
Huge.
deal.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for them. I really hope that I think they have all the pieces and all the like talent to be able to go win. The new coach, Emma, is great. The girls really, really, really like her. Like she's got it going on. So hopefully they can just gel and play well.
Yeah. Execute.
Execute.
This is her second Olympics.
Yeah, she went in 2016 to when they had it in Brazil.
That's sweet. Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, like
I feel like it's been a
the Olymp-
while though since they've like done well in the Olympics.
Yeah, we talk about it because I think well, I don't want to speak on it because I don't know the exact facts, and then people will be active on our comment boards. But
We'll get fact checked.
yeah, I'll get fact
Yeah.
checked real quick. But the thing I like about the Olympics is like, how often do we all get to cheer for the same team and like actually meet?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so cool because you can go like now when the Olympics are on, you can go to any sports bar or restaurant, and if they're showing something, 99% of the people in there are cheering for the United States. Like it's
For
so
sure.
cool to kind of watch. Love the opening ceremonies of it, all the random sports of it, just all the athletes competing. I mean, I'll watch badminton, I'll watch table tennis, I watch it all.
Oh yeah, I'll put anything on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the best in the world at what they do, like competing. It's
That them diving Johns, bro.
the
Oh.
the
Yeah, I was gonna
swimming,
ask you
and
guys-
track field's electric.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Ledecky
ask,
to the moon.
what is
Yeah.
what's your favorite sport to watch in the Olympics?
I mean, like the 100 meters, right? Like,
Track?
yeah, just
I mean,
the fastest people in the world.
See who's the fastest man in the world. Like that's
Like,
dude. The 100 it's literally less than 10 seconds, and it's like wow, this is
yeah, just jets.
the 100, the 200, and the 400 are pretty like electric. I will say
The
it is
hurdles
fun.
crazy too.
Oh, dude.
I don't get how
Everyone
their
there is so
bodies
fast.
do that.
Everyone there is so fast. I think the swimming in the same way is fun. Just like who's
Mhm.
literally like the fastest fish in the world, basically like fastest
Yeah.
human fish.
I like the relays.
Relays
I
are
was gonna say, I'm a
electric,
big relay guy.
and
Big
then
relay guy.
I like the synchronized diving,
dude, they do all the flips. Yeah, special.
but like tandem, that's great.
Obviously we'll
They
be
got
tuned
golf
into the
now?
soccer. That speaks for itself.
yeah.
The-
Basketball.
The
always
basketball,
gonna
the
watch.
basketball, I'm
Oh.
really, really intrigued with because, dude, for so long, like obviously America was super dominant and had the best players in the world. But man, like, there's a lot of good freaking players across the world now. Like,
France is
whether
going to be
it's
pretty good.
Serbia, Germany,
Canada's
France,
got a little squad.
Spain's always got a good team. Like, there's a lot of good teams out there, man. And the disadvantage that the U.S. has isn't necessarily like the personnel, because obviously, like, you look at who they're rolling out there and it's sick. But it's different rules.
It's
And
different rules, different ball.
different rules, different ball. And I think that hurts them in a way because all the other countries have been playing this way. Like, this is, yes, and say,
Style.
yeah. So like it's a little bit more of a seamless transition, whereas I feel like it's a little bit of a tougher transition for the American guys because of
Too,
that.
and they talk about on like Redeem Team is like these other teams, they've been the best in the world and they've always just played on the same team. Whereas we could have had 50 different AAU squads or whatever.
Right.
It's like
Right.
they just know each other.
Yeah.
Like they know where they're gonna be.
It's like playing that team at the Y. You're like, they're not better than us, but they keep kicking our
But,
butt.
like, we
They're
can't
just
do
smacking
anything
us.
about it.
Yeah. So I'll be intrigued, man.
Yeah, I wish we all could have be together and we could like live stream one of Mal's games and like just our reactions and going crazy when they beat
Hey,
some poor country 9-0.
If we figure out a weekend, we'll figure out a weekend to link up or something.
Dude, it's wild though, but the Olympics are. I don't say they're harder than the World Cup because I don't want to get fact checked or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
But
please.
it's different. It's different.
Coming for both of y'all.
It's different, dude. Like the scheduling's a little bit tougher. They have less days in between games, and I think there may be less teams that make it than the World Cup too. So like the competition is stiff from the get go. Like their group stage is Zambia, who has a good team, Germany, who's obviously really good, and Australia, who's really good. Like
Yeah.
it's not just like there's not some countries that qualified that may be in over their skis. Like all these teams are really freaking good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I love how long the Olympics are. I get
Ugh.
it's so funny, dude.
Feels like it never
it's
ends.
It's so funny because like I said, I literally watch it 24/7, and it'll be like day 5 or whatever, and I'm knee deep in badminton, and Lexi will be like, "Can we like watch something else?" I'm like, "No, like the Olympics are on." Okay, like are they almost done? I'm like, "No, we got like another
Week.
and a half
2
of this."
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
Better
We're
just
swimming
lock
doesn't even
in.
start till
Yeah,
next
you better
Sunday.
just-
Yeah.
We're just talking group stage right now.
Yeah. No, I'm excited, dude. I think it's gonna be fun. It's just like even just like stuff to have on the clubhouse, like just good vibes. Good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just nothing like cheering on the United States, man.
Amen.
Freaking pumped up about it. Freaking pumped up about it. Do you like the Summer Olympics more or the winter?
Summer.
I think the summer. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Just
I
because
like
it's
the
more,
summer.
it's closer to like the sports that I generically watch, anyways.
Oh, dude.
Like there's a little bit more
beach volleyball?
familiarity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you
beach
seen where they're
volleyball,
playing
that's a
beach
good one,
volleyball?
too. It's right by the Eiffel Tower, right? Like right under. it?
Yeah. I need
That's
cooter
tight.
boots on the ground at beach volleyball.
We're gonna rely on Cooter for a lot
You know
of
what's
content. These
You know what's
coming
wild though?
weeks.
The soccer is they're in Marseille and somewhere else. Like they don't even really go to Paris until the
Yeah.
final. Like they're kind of like in like surrounding places, not even really
We like
close.
that.
Like she said, where they're at compared to Paris is like a 5 or 6 hour train ride. So like it's not close. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And they start like start the whole thing off because I'm pretty like they don't go to the opening ceremonies.
Takes the
I'm pretty sure.
longest.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, because it's so long. Like they start before the actual Olympics start. Once again,
what does Mal
I really
say
hope I'm
about
right
the
on that
opening
one. I want to get
Yeah.
Dude, they're coming.
You're making
for
my
y'all.
job really hard. I'm getting a lot of notifications on flag comments.
iron sharpens iron, brother.
I'll make sure. There's a couple people me and Mitchell got to talk to on the internet. But what does Mal say about about the opening ceremonies?
Well, they don't go.
Oh, so she's
So
never
she, I
been.
don't think
Oh,
like she doesn't experience it.
that sucks.
Does she get the fit at least?
I'm pretty sure she
Once a
gets the
year?
fit. Yeah, I think I helped fit her. So if it doesn't fit at all, my bad.
Yeah, the
I
measurer.
had the tape measure. They're like, all right, measure this length, and I'm like,
You have B Will on FaceTime.
honestly, I needed him here. I needed him here.
Dude, that is so funny.
She's gonna have one sleeve like up here.
Honestly, it's gonna be like baggy in a place and like super tight in a place. It's like
Yeah, they're like, who is built like this? That's an
just a
Olympic
fashion
athlete.
statement.
Yeah.
Yikes! But no, I'm excited. I'm excited for her. I think it's gonna be, and especially too, just considering like we don't have to get into it, but just like for her to be an Olympian after everything that happened last year, it's just like so inspiring and like it's just cool, man. It's emotional, like just the gratitude and perspective from everything that she experienced to being able to kind of like step back on that stage is freaking impressive. Told her to enjoy it, like soak that up.
Oh yeah, I mean, highlight reel moments coming her way for sure. Just, just all like the hard work she's done to get back to where she is, and then to be able to shine and you know reach the ultimate. I mean, yeah, it's got to be so cool for her to have that moment again. All right, man. Well, I hope you have a
Uh,
good, coming back,
Second half.
winning series, second
Yeah.
half. Everybody staying healthy, Cubs rolling. I would love nothing more than to be in Wrigley in October. Be awesome.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all.
All right, brother.
Yeah,
Yes,
bro.
sir.